So how goes your preterist teachings, and are you planning on changing your point of view anytime soon?
Why do you think I would ever change my view on preterism?
Because I would think you would get tired of being wrong.
I would get tired of being wrong.
Yes.
That is a astute observation.
Well, I do know that I got tired of being wrong, which is why I've had to change some of the things that I believe. For instance, I was once saying, and this is no slam on anybody that believes in a preacher of rapture, but that used to be one of my beliefs.
Yeah.
And when I run across things, if we read the scriptures, and if we love the scriptures, the things that we have wrong in our doctrines, God is eventually going to show us in his word, because his word will contradict us when we're wrong. And so, like with the preacher of rapture, for instance, I used to run across scriptures like Matthew 24:29, where it plainly says immediately after the tribulation, the sun won't give her light, etc. And that it's at that time that the Lord will send his holy angels to gather his elect from one end of heaven to the other. So then there's 1 Corinthians 15 that gives us a direct order of the resurrection. We have Christ, the first fruits, then those who are his at his coming. That's really clear, at his coming. We don't have two more comings of Christ. He's coming back one more time. And that's what we've got. Those that are his are going to be resurrected at his coming. And then come at the end, when the rest of the dead are raised up. So I had to conform to that. I had to conform to the fact that there wasn't two more comings of Christ. There wasn't a coming where he's going to take us all away and we're going to dance in heaven and sit at some supper while everybody else is suffering down here. If we would look at the state of the church today, I believe we would see that if any generation deserved a trial by fire, is this generation. And that's exactly what the church is going to see, in my opinion. I believe that's what the Lord teaches us. And most recently, I guess I've gone from I've become a believer in annihilation, just simply because that's what I see in the scriptures now. So the more we serve the Lord, the more we study, the more he alters where we've been misled. And I believe that's the same for everybody. So, yeah, I know I got tired of being wrong. So I'm not just slamming you, dude. I'm really not. I got tired of being wrong. So what I'm saying from experience. And I believe that anybody that wants to believe, you're free to believe whatever you want to believe, preterist. And I don't hate you for your beliefs or anything like that. I don't count you as my enemy. But I do believe that you should rethink your doctrine, because you really put yourself into a frying pan. You put yourself into something that's not defendable. There's so many things, like just the fact you're still alive. You haven't died yet. I haven't died yet. The scripture says it's given unto man once to die, and after this the judgment. Well, you say it's all been done. It's all been completed. As a preterist, you believe everything in the word has been completed by 70 AD. Just the fact that you're not dead proves that wrong. You haven't died yet, nor have you been judged yet. After that, the judgment. So, yeah, I just don't see how that's defendable at all.
Okay. Are you done talking?
Would you like to defend it?
Okay. Are you aware of the word pontificate, Eric?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. Because that's all you do is
I thought I gave you
pontificate.
scripture. Is that
No,
what giving scripture
you
is?
pontificated on scripture.
Oh, okay. So, have you died yet?
No,
Have you died and endured the judgment of God yet?
no.
Okay, then that hasn't occurred yet, has it?
When have I ever claimed that did occur?
Well, you claim the entire Bible has been uh, uh, completed by come to pass. Everything in it has come to pass by 70 AD. That's what a preterist is, right?
Okay, so do you know what that entails when that statement is made?
What statement?
That everything in the Bible has been fulfilled?
Well, I take it for exactly what it says. Everything in the Bible has been completed and fulfilled by 70 AD. Is what you? Those are the very words that came out of your mouth. And your death and resurrection and judgment did not take place before 70 AD. So no, preterism is obviously, provably, demonstrably wrong.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you a simple question. Do you think that, how am I going to word this? Do you think that me being alive and not having died would really have anything to do with the Bible being fulfilled? And would I really be a full preterist if I thought that's what it entailed? Like, do you really think I'm that stupid? I guess is my question.
Oh, are you claiming now you're not a full preterist? I don't
I'm
understand your
cla-
question.
I know I understand. That's not my question. I never once said, "Hey, I'm not a full preterist." I'm asking if full preterism hinged on the belief that I had already died and been judged by God. Do you really
Well,
think that
tell
I
me,
would
tell
claim
me.
to be a full preterist?
Okay, well, tell me yes or no. Does not a full preterist believe, and did you not say that everything in the scripture was fulfilled by 70 AD?
Correct. That
Okay,
is
there
what
you
a full
go.
preterist believes.
There you go. So
But
yeah,
why?
it's wrong. It's demonstrably wrong.
Okay. No. So
Because
here's okay. Can I
yeah,
please give a
because it
response?
does say it's given unto man once to die, and after this the judgment. So yeah, that hasn't happened yet for either one of us. Neither one of us have been judged. Neither one of us have died. We haven't stood before the judgment. Our end has not come. The end of the world hasn't come. The other day when we were talking about the parable of the wheat and tares on here, um, you know, the funny thing was when we went over to my channel to talk about it, we got to the. You told me to read chapter 40, and it said that the judgment is going to take place at the end of the world. And surely we haven't seen the end of the world yet. We haven't seen the judgment of the tares yet, the burning of the tares. We haven't seen uh, the first resurrection, let alone the second resurrection. All that's yet to occur. And so if you're going to claim to be a full preterist, you have, and like you said, your own words were all of this occurred before 70 AD. I just don't see how you can honestly believe that. I just don't.
Okay. So two things. Number one, are you saying that I must honestly believe to be a full preterist that we have already died and faced judgment of Christ?
Well, if you're going to sit there and say that everything in the scripture was fulfilled by 70 AD, then yes. Those are your words, not mine. I'm holding your feet to the fire. I'm holding your words to the fire, and we're burning away the dross.
The problem is though that you're not really holding my words to a fire. You're hypothecating, but there's no basis to what you're saying. That would be like saying, Eric, that if I'm a full preterist, I must believe that God is no longer God, because in the Bible, God says, I will be God forever, and that must be completed. Do you understand how it's a logical fallacy, what you're
No,
claiming?
no, I don't.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
what I
Well, it is.
understand is this: if you say everything in prophecy was fulfilled by 70 AD, which
Okay.
you said, now do you honestly believe that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well then, what does God prophesy? God prophesies our coming death, our coming first resurrection, a coming second resurrection, and a judgment at each resurrection. And the judgment for the second resurrection is that they're all cast into the lake of fire. So if you believe that all prophecy has been fulfilled before 70 AD, that's the bed you're making for yourself. That's why you're being called out on it by me personally. So,
Eric,
I mean,
okay,
if
I understand. Okay, I get it. So here's the thing. Okay, I promise you that Eric Lionheart does not have the magical silver bullet to defeat preterism.
well, it's
What this
already
is,
beat.
it's not though, because here's the problem. You're you're starting from a false premise. You're starting from the premise that since in the Bible it says that it is appointed for mankind to die once, then after that face the judgment. You're asserting that that is a prophecy. That means that we are all going to die and get judged. Here's a question: if we're all going to die, and that's the prophecy that at one point in time everybody dies and gets judged, then how do you have, first of all, a second resurrection, and second of all, how do you even have a rapture when people are supposed to be raptured up without seeing death?
Well, how do you know that we're not instantly killed when we're changed in a moment in the twinkling of an eye? How do you know that's not the death in the flesh and that it's automatically then transformed to a living body? You
Because
see,
Paul says we will not all die.
yeah, right? But in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, then we which are alive shall be what? Changed in a moment, in the
So we're
twinkling of
going to
an eye.
die. We're going to be alive and we're going to die. That's going to be the changing.
What?
Okay. He says here in verse 51, 1 Corinthians 15, perceive, I tell you a mystery.
Are you
We
going to
that
try to?
abide.
Are you honestly going to try to say that the prophecy about the first resurrection? You see, you don't
Ladies
even
and gentlemen,
understand
this is
the
why
two
I cannot
resurrections.
have an interaction with Eric Lionheart, because he interrupts in the middle of me
Oh,
speaking.
well, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
I let him speak for about 10 minutes straight, and now I'm
Go
asking
right
a
ahead.
simple question. Okay?
Okay. Go
You're a
ahead.
dick, just so you know. You're a
Okay.
fucking dick. And I would
Okay. What
smack the
else?
shit out of you in real life.
Okay.
You ain't even a man. You need to
Okay.
get taught how to be a man, son.
Well, that's what happens anytime somebody loses a debate, isn't it?